Hello patrons, and welcome to the monthly exclusive Patreon video for the month of February 2018. This is being recorded, and you guys are getting this, hopefully, on March 3rd, and I apologize for that, because you are supposed to get these on the 2nd of the month, which means you're getting it a day late, and I'm sorry. The best and simplest explanation I will give you is that things have been a little crazy around here. We've been busy. We're always busy. But we've been very busy recently getting a lot of this stuff out, getting a lot of stuff recorded, and it's kind of pushed everything down the pipeline a little bit, including this video, so I apologize for that. Also, you will notice that I'm recording this on the phone again. The last several months I've recorded on the normal camera, and the biggest reason for that has been, well, it looks better, but also if I'm going to produce the Patreon video, and I'm going to include other clips and things like that, then it has to go into editing, etc. anyway. But for this specific month, there's no additional content to show, and it's just going to be a talking headshot. So I figured that since I'm already running behind, I can get this out to you guys just a little bit sooner if I just use the phone. So I apologize that the quality is not the same as it has been for the past few months. Probably next month, or just in the future in general, we'll go back to the other camera, unless it's something that I feel like I can get out to you guys a little sooner by using this. With that being said, let's get started on the February video by talking about what happened in February. So there was not a lot of changes in the Steven Plays schedule in February. We had 3 games on the schedule, and they stayed the same: Assassin's Creed 3, Super Mario 64, Fallout 4. But there was definitely some deviation in there, some that was not even really planned, and we're going to be talking a little bit about that in this section. But we're going to start by saying that we released a 7-year video. Steven Plays turned 7. If you haven't seen that video, I'd urge you to watch it. It's a little longer at 30 minutes, but it's our annual statistics video where we talk about all of the numbers, which is fun for me to make, but I think it's fun for viewers because it gives them a chance to peek behind the curtain and see a lot of the intricacies of Steven Plays. And we only do that on Steven Plays. We don't do that on Steven Vlogs. So I think it's the one time a year where we get to show numbers and things like that to those who find that sort of information interesting. It's also a good reminder of all of the videos that we released last year and all the different series, and also the fact that Pikmin 2 was on the channel for over 6 months. You're welcome, or I'm sorry, depending on how you felt about that series. Other things that happened in February, Day 3000, and we talked last month on the Patreon video about, we were trying to decide when we wanted to release the keychains. If you're new, I don't have any here, do I? Do I have some on the shelf? I do have one. Okay, I got one on the shelf. If you're new and you maybe haven't seen the keychains before, oh, son of a gun, is it? There's not a physical keychain here. It's the packaging. Well, there's the packaging for it. We've got keychains that are going to be coming out, and it's basically the vlog logo, but metal. And we were trying to decide if we were going to show or sell those for the when we hit Day 3000, which was February 10th, or if we were going to wait until that vlog day came out. It was pretty unanimous from you guys last month to just wait until that vlog day released, and I think that is definitely the best decision, because it allows us to build up some time to actually get everything ready, but then also, and I think more importantly, celebrate the actual day. It seems weird to celebrate Day 3000 when you're still 100 days away from that day being viewable. So this is probably the best course of action. Now, the keychains that I have shown previously on the Patreon videos, I've noted were early production models, and that they would be lighter than that, because they came out really dark. They came out gunmetal gray. And I've been talking to Steve and Fangamer, and we now have the final model of them. I don't have any copies of those sent to me yet. When they show up, whenever Steve sends them my way, I'll be sure to show you guys. But they are much lighter. In fact, they're kind of chrome. So just imagine the vlog logo, and it's about this size. This is the old ones that Justin made years ago. It's about this size, but it's almost chrome. It's almost like reflective, like a reflective mirror type thing. But it's a keychain, and the width is again a little thinner than this because it's meant to be a screwdriver for tripods, for a tripod screw head. So they're done. Fangamer has all of them. There's several hundred that they ordered. We don't know if we're going to do more of them or not. It's going to depend largely on the response to them. If they sell out quickly and Fangamer feels like they would be able to sell more, then they will have more made. If they sell slowly, then once they're gone, they'll probably just be gone. My goal is to let you guys know ahead of time when they're going to be selling. So, like, I want to have them available, obviously, to coincide with the release of Day 3000, but I'm hoping to work it out with Fangamer that we sell them early to you guys, so all of the patrons that want one will be guaranteed to get one. So I'll have the link sent to you guys on Patreon, hopefully at least a week or more before they are available to the public, so if you want one, you'll be able to get one. So that's happening at some point in the future, whenever we catch up to vlogs all the way to February. Other things that happened in February, Fallout 4 took hiatus, which maybe you're aware of. If you watch that series, you've probably been anxiously awaiting for the return. I have been very busy doing a lot of different things, and I've taken a month away from Fallout 4, and the mini doc, which is episode 222 of Fallout, is going to be out tomorrow, Sunday. It is done. We just finished it the other day, and it's very good. Like, I don't like to, be boastful about my work, but it's very good. I'm very proud of it, and I think the important thing for me is that it matched the vision that I had for this in my head. I envisioned this idea for this little mini documentary when I was still working on the Norah Jones episodes. When I was going through them, I was like, man, this is so crazy. There's all this work going into this. I would really love to make some sort of little video that talks about all the work that went into this, because I don't think that people truly understand all the stuff that went into this. So I had the idea for the mini doc before I was even done producing those episodes. And originally I wanted to do the mini doc as soon as the episodes were out, like finish all the Norah Jones episodes, then do this doc. But ultimately I decided to wait until Grit Jones had finished the game himself so I could include that in the discussion. And I'm glad that I did that. But that's all done. It'll be out tomorrow. And again, the thing I'm most proud of is that it really, everything I imagined, like exactly how I wanted it to be in my head, that's how it came out. So it's exactly what I wanted it to be. I hope everyone enjoys it. It is 50 minutes long, and the best way I can describe it is a DVD special features extra, like one of those behind-the-scenes things that you would see on a DVD. That's really what it feels like. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it. But yeah, Fallout 4 was gone for a month because of that. Now, did it take me a month to actually do it? No, it didn't. I will be very upfront and honest with the fact that I definitely procrastinated on it. Procrastinate makes it sound like I was lounging around drinking soda and sitting on my butt, which is not true, obviously. I've had so many other things to do that being free of the burden of Fallout 4 for even a small amount of time allows me to start focusing all of a sudden on all these things I've put off for so long and balancing all these things. So I did all that, and then I started just focusing on vlogs, which is one of the reasons you guys got so many vlogs recently, is because I didn't have anything to do in that slot. I already had episodes of Assassin's Creed, I already had episodes of Super Mario 64 done, so I was releasing those and not having to worry about that, and I really did put off the mini-doc. So Fallout 4 has been off the channel for a month, but it's really taken me closer to like 2 weeks, actually, to do the documentary. So, yeah, I apologize. It could have come out a lot sooner, but because it didn't, a lot of other good things happened, so I guess I shouldn't feel too bad about it. On that note, last Patreon video, I said that Fallout 4 was going to go on hiatus, and when it did, I was going to be releasing episodes of Super Mario 64 and Assassin's Creed in its place. But whenever Fallout 4 took its hiatus, something completely different came out, and that was mini golf. And I actually had a few patrons say, where did that come from? You didn't mention it last month. There's a reason for that, and it's that I forgot it existed. It was actually Dan who brought it up to me, because when I told him that we were going to take Fallout 4 on hiatus and we were going to release episodes of Mario and Assassin's Creed, he was like, I finished editing that mini golf, a month or two ago. He said, why don't we just release that? And I was like, oh yeah, that exists. So we released that. And, again, I would have mentioned it. In last month's Patreon video, but I just forgot that it existed. So if you see Dan, thank Dan, because he's the reason that the mini golf even came out. It's because I just forgot that we had it, and he had it edited. He edited it back in like either November or December, and he was like, "When are we going to release this?" And I was like, "I don't know. We're doing all these other things. I don't know where it would fit." And then we released it in February. Other thing that happened, and I'm real excited about this. If you've been watching the Super NES Classic series on Stephen Plays, you'll know that the Earthbound video that we released was really special. It was a competition. It was a race between Mal and myself. We got 2 Super Nintendo Classics, and we raced. And we had the camera set up on both of us playing, but we were using 2 monitors and everything. We captured both of them, and it was all really well edited by Dan, who had info about the game coming up, but it was themed in Earthbound. It was a really cool video. The response to that was so positive that it served as a really good reminder that competitive content has historically done very well on Stephen Plays, and also we really like doing it. Mario Kart is one of our most loved Let's Plays, and it got us thinking, maybe we should do some more competitive content. Mal and I love playing together. We love doing co-op stuff. We're doing Super Mario 64 right now, which is co-op. We're going to be doing a Let's Play of Kirby Star Allies pretty soon, and that's going to be a fun co-op thing. But competitive stuff does really well too, and we wanted to ask, what sort of competitive content would you be interested in seeing? You could mention stuff for Steven and Friends too, if you wanted, but we're talking specifically about Mal and I playing a game versus each other. We think Mario Kart is kind of up there in terms of pinnacle. If there's something that makes even more sense, that even more people would be interested in, that we would also like, then certainly feel free to mention it. But just in general, what kind of competitive content between Mal and myself, what games would you be interested in seeing? And that's something that we'd take into consideration. But then, specifically, we felt that the Earthbound video was so well received that we are talking about and are thinking about doing a full Let's Play, a full competitive Earthbound Let's Play. I don't know when that would happen, hopefully this year, but is that something you'd be interested in? Based on the comments and the feedback that we got from that Earthbound one-off on Super Nintendo Classics, it sounds like people would be down for that. And the way we would probably do it is we'd do it in chunks, where each episode we're starting in the same spot and we're trying to get to a specific spot, and then whoever gets there first, they get like 1 point, and then they would get 1 additional point for every minute that it took the other person to get there. So it's not just someone gets there and they win, it's they would get there and they would rack up points for the longer the other person took. So it's not like once they get there, the other person just stops. It's like they have got to get there or it's going to turn out bad for them. So that's a thing we're thinking about. And if you would be interested in that, please let us know, because we think it's a fun idea. I don't know of anyone that's done that. And even if they did, they probably don't have the history with the game that Mal and I have, and they also don't have the relationship that we have as, husband and wife. So there'd be a husband and wife, racing each other in a game that is very important to them and also their relationship. So it's kind of a unique thing. So we're thinking about doing that, and just in general more competitive stuff. So talk about those things. Another little thing that happened in February was that I did a first 20 of a game called Oh, This Is Baseball? Or is it called Oh, Is This Baseball? Anyway, it was a first 20 bonus that we put out, and it's a indie game that was created as part of the movie Game Jam. And it's just a short little thing, but it's very funny, and I actually got a chance to voice act in it. And the story behind that is I knew the person, the lead on the project, Muhammad. You guys might know him better as Lawahi, and that person was the person that played the role of Prince Pooh on the Earthbound radio show that we did a billion years ago, Fobbies Are Born. So he's in game development now, and he sent me a message, said he was doing this game. He wanted me to do some voice acting for it. I did it. It was a lot of fun. We also had the voice of 2B from Nier Automata. So very weird combination that I worked on. I did voice work with the same voice actresses from a AAA game. But it's neat. It's a neat little video. If you haven't seen it, check out the video, and you can also play the game yourself if you'd like. And then finally, this is the last bullet point on my February list. We have done a few things over the last few months to try and make our lives better. One of those things was the schedule, the very strict schedule that we've tried to keep, which, by the way, has gone overall really well. In the past few weeks, it's been pretty rocky, and it's been mostly rocky because of the workload that we've taken on, and also some of we call them boulders around here, some of the boulders that we've taken on. Recently, the boulder was the Fallout mini-doc. Mouse had some painting boulders also. But we've otherwise stuck to the schedule pretty closely. So that was one thing that has made our lives better. And even if we don't always stick to it, we know that it does make our lives better, so we're always working towards it. Well, we've added something else in our lives that I feel has made our lives a lot better. And we are calling it, such a fun, stupid name, the Lunch Bunch. It's my name for it, and I made like a dumb logo for it and everything. And the Lunch Bunch is getting a few of our friends together and meeting for lunch every Wednesday. And it sounds like a very simple thing, but you have to understand, we don't have a whole lot of social interaction. We don't have traditional jobs, so the only people that we talk to, really, is each other. Mal and I talk to each other because we're around each other all the time. Occasionally, we'll see my parents. Once or twice a week, we have to see Dan to trade footage and things like that. We'll see Lindsay. But that's it, and it's kept to a pretty extreme minimum. On Saturday nights, we record Steven and Friends, and we get a lot of social interaction there, but that's not face-to-face. It's a little different from meeting with other human beings. So we started to do this this lunch thing. I think it was in February. It might have been at the tail end of January, and it's been great. It has been really fantastic. We're to the point where we get really excited about it because we get to be around human beings, and that's just something that's happening every Wednesday. We've been changing the restaurant up, so we're trying to do a bunch of different places to eat. So it's cool because it gets us out of the house. It gets us talking to people, our friends who we enjoy hanging around, and then it also gives us a chance to eat, but also try different places and force ourselves to try different meals. So it's a lot of good wrapped up in 1 to 2 hours every Wednesday, and we've been really enjoying it. So I wanted to put that in the list because it's something that has made more of a positive change in my life than I thought it would. I'm notorious for working, and I certainly do a lot of that, but having that social interaction is really important, and sometimes you don't realize how important it is until you've missed it so much. So it's been nice to get back to that. Anyway, that's everything that happened in February. Now we're going to talk about stuff happening in March. So the first thing on my list is the Fallout 4 mini doc, which I mentioned earlier. It comes out tomorrow, Sunday. It's actually a numbered episode. It's episode 222. I made it numbered because I really want people to watch it. I don't want people to skip the Norris stuff. I don't want them to feel like that's an optional thing. Obviously, I can't control them, but I want them to feel like it's a part of the Fallout adventure. I want them to watch this mini talk as if it's a part of the Fallout adventure. It talks a lot not only about Nora, but about Grit, my opinions on things, how I approach certain things, how I feel about them as characters, etc. And it is, I will say, it's for people that are watching Fallout. If you have no interest in the Fallout series, that's fine. But if you don't mind being spoiled about both the game, because I was going to spoil the heck out of the game, and then also the Let's Play, then you can watch it too. It is, that series, and especially the Nora stuff, has really been a labor of love, and this mini doc also is kind of a labor of love. So I hope people really enjoy it, and again, that'll be out tomorrow. As a reminder, Super Mario 64 is ending in March. It will end March 17th. There are 25 episodes of it. In fact, that was my prediction before the series started, based on how long the game is. When Mal and I were discussing it, she said, how long do you think it's going to be? And I said, probably about 25 episodes. Turns out it was 25 episodes on the dot. So that's going to be ending middle of March. And that is going to be getting replaced with Finding Paradise. As a reminder, Finding Paradise is the sequel to Ken Gao's and Freebird Studios' To the Moon, which came out at, 2009? Was it 2000 or 2011? I don't know. It's been a while. So it's a sequel to that game, and we're going to be playing through that all in one go. And there's two reasons for that. For one, it makes it a little easier on us. We sit down, we play the entire game. It's one collective thought. But then number two, it also prevents us from possibly being spoiled. That's the sort of game that you do not want to be spoiled on. And it's how we approached Until Dawn also. We had Until Dawn completely recorded before we ever released any episodes. And we're doing that with Finding Paradise so we don't possibly get spoiled. I don't know what happens in that game. I don't want to know. I want to experience it for myself. To the Moon was such an emotional journey. And I have a feeling that Finding Paradise will probably be similar. So we're looking forward to playing it. We're going to play through all of it soon because that will be coming out, middle to end of March. Other things that are happening. Super Nintendo Classics are ending. It is not being replaced with anything, and that's just for our sanity. We're trying really hard to back up off of some of the workload that we've had. We've realized that we've taken on a lot, and again, some of that has had to do with these boulders. I feel like our normal workload, while it is kind of crazy, is not enough to overtake us and cause things to get behind. It's when I take on a lot of these really big projects that, I shouldn't really do, but then I do anyway. It's like the top 10 first 20 video. That's a lot of work. I really shouldn't do that. But I like the idea, so I'm going to do it. The Outlaw Secrets video. That's a lot of work. I really shouldn't do that. But I'm going to do it. Working for a month on Norah Jones episodes. This is really dumb. I shouldn't do this. I'm going to do it, though. So I'm going to try in 2018 to back off of those boulders. And things will probably start to catch up because of that. But we have no plans on replacing Sunday night content. The reason I clarify all of that is because in a past Patreon video, we had thrown around the idea of doing Retro 20, because First 20 has kind of evolved to the point where it's really only new games. New games, indie games, games either that you guys send in or that developers send. And I like that. I think that's a good move for First 20. But it does leave this opening of we want to play retro games. All of these things, we want to experience these retro games, and I thought that might be a good spot for it. But as Mel and I have talked more and more about moving into streaming this year, my primary goal for streaming, the show that I want to make for streaming, would be kind of based on Extra Life, where people can donate towards games that they want to see played, and then they get played. And the donations would roll over from week to week, where if you put money towards a game and it doesn't get played, that money just stays until eventually, it gets chosen. And also, I've talked about this in the past, but the audience would be voting on what they want to see played. The donations get the games on the list, and then the top 5 or whatever are voted on by whoever's watching. So you don't have to feel like you have to contribute or donate anything to choose what's getting played. It's a cool system. I like the system, and it would probably get a lot of retro games played. So the reason we're not putting anything in the Sunday night slot is because, one, it's a lot of work, but number two, we think that when we get to streaming, that's probably where the stream VOD will go. I don't know when we'd actually do the streaming itself. I don't know what day or time slot, but Sunday nights is probably when the VOD from the previous stream would get uploaded. And because a lot of that is probably inevitably going to be retro games, we figured we'll just wait, not make a new series, we'll just wait, because when streaming happens, it'll just naturally be retro stuff. I'm looking forward to it. You know, it's one of the difficulties I've had in the past. In the past period, but especially like the past year, is that I have so many cool ideas, and I'm bogged down by the fact that I am behind on things, and I try not to let that get to me. It does a little bit sometimes, but I try to just stay focused and keep working, keep my head down, and try and get caught up. So that's what I'm working on. I'm trying to do better about not taking on boulders. I'm trying to stay focused on catching everything up, because I do have all these cool ideas that I want to explore, like streaming, like being able to do cool things like play retro games on stream that people vote for, and then we get to do them live, and that sort of thing is exciting to me. So I'm keeping those ideas in my head as encouragement to keep working hard. Anyway, other things that that happened in March. Well, I guess it happened in February, but it's the result of it is happening in March. I sent out a tweet the other day, you may have seen it, where I asked for new material to play on Steven and Friends, because I like what we do on Steven and Friends, but we tend to recycle a lot of the same material. We do Broken Picture Phone and 1,000 Blank White Cards and Golf with Your Friends and Joking Hazard, and then obviously GTA Online. Certainly some of those games have infinite replayability. We will be playing, I kid you not, 1,000 Blank White Cards for a long, long time to come. You guys have submitted and continue to submit amazing cards, and because of that, that series is going to basically last forever, which is exciting, because I think it's always interesting, and it has infinite, replayability. But we wanted some new stuff to show off, and I sent out a tweet that basically said, if you have new material, suggest it, tag a dev, so they can see it, and devs, if you want to get in touch about, supplying keys or whatever, if you have a game that supports 8 to 12 people, let us know. We can work together. We can make this happen. So I made that tweet. A lot of you responded and tagged devs so they could see it, and the response to that has been really good. We actually have gotten contacted by some devs, and one of the devs was Klei, Klei, which is the developer of Don't Starve. So I got contacted by the developer, and they just sent over multiple keys for Don't Starve together, and it was super nice, and I really appreciated that. And it was because people tipped off Klei to the fact that I was asking for stuff, and that's really good. It's a mutual benefit between us and the developer, because it gives us material to work with to create these funny, memorable experiences that you guys enjoy. So it's win for us, it's win for you, and then it's win for the developers who gets their game advertised for free. So win-win-win. So Don't Starve Together is actually a game, because today's Saturday. We're actually recording it tonight. If it goes well, I definitely see it being the type of experience that we continue with. It's for those that don't know, Don't Starve is a survival game, and it feels weird comparing it to Minecraft, but it's kind of like Minecraft, where you have to get resources and survive, and Don't Starve Together is just that formula, but expanded to multiplayer. And it's going to be interesting, because apparently the game has a really high learning curve, but there's going to be several of us doing it tonight, and hopefully we'll not starve, and that video will be coming out at some point in the future. And again, if it goes well, I see us easily coming back to do more of it in the future. Another developer that contacted us was the developer, I don't know who they're called, of Guns of Icarus, which I don't really know what that game is. I've looked up some stuff about it, and it looks like a cooperative blimp fighting game. Like you're up in a blimp but there's like multiple people that work on different parts of the blimp, and it's like air combat or something. I'm still communicating with them about getting keys, because they've sent an email and they're like, how many keys you need? So we're communicating about that, but that'll probably happen at some point in the future. The reason I bring all this up is that if you have a game that would work for us, that is 8 to 12 people, go find that tweet. It's one of my recent tweets, and respond to it and tag a developer. Say, hey, this developer makes this really cool game. Maybe they can reach out to you and get some keys going, because it's really nice to be contacted by these developers that supply these games, because it ends up being win-win for everyone. So I'm looking forward to playing Don't Starve Together tonight, Guns of Icarus probably in the future, and if you guys have other games that you want to either suggest here, or if you want to tag a developer in that tweet, that would be awesome, because some of these devs are very willing to work with us, and I appreciate that. Okay, so the next thing on this list is, it's a secret, and I mostly want to mention it now, so when it happens, I can say that I told you. But it's a secret, and it's really cool. I'm trying to think what I'm allowed to tell you. I know. We are making a sponsored video. And those of you that have watched us for a long time and know us very well, and know me, and know how I feel about that sort of content and sponsored videos in general, know that I would not make that sort of decision to do that sort of content just willy-nilly. There would be a good reason. So it's a great reason. And I really look forward to you guys seeing it. I'm not getting paid. It's not for money. It's not even for a thing. I'm not even getting a thing. And I'm not allowed to talk about it, but dang, it's going to be great. It's really going to be great. Hopefully the video will be out in March. March is going to be crazy for us. So I don't know if it'll be out in March or not. I'm crossing my fingers it will be. But if not, it should April, maybe. But it'll be something that appears. It'll probably be on both Plays and Vlog. But it's good. It's really good. I'm so excited about it. Just keep watching, and it'll all make sense, and you'll understand why I was like, yes, I want to do this sponsored video. You'll see. Okay, so that's all the stuff that happened in March, or that is happening in March. But there's one final thing, and I'm putting this at the end because it is a serious thing, and I'm not trying to bring the video down, but I want to make everyone aware of it, because that's part of Patreon, is making sure that everyone is aware of things that are happening. So we have been very busy in March, in February and March, and the reason is we are going on a very long trip in April. We're going to be gone for most of April. So things have already been really crazy. The secret thing is actually going to be taking up quite a bit of time too. Can't talk about it, but it's going to be taking up even more time in March. And something happened that is going to be taking up even more time, that is causing Mal to leave town for a little bit. And she's been a little anxious about the fact that she has all these paintings and stuff to get done. And trying to figure out the best way to word this. When she found out this information, she was anxious not only because of that, because she's like, oh goodness, I'm going to be out of town, but she was anxious for a completely different reason. Her dad, I'll just spit it out. Her dad is going to be having open heart surgery, and for what it's worth, I think he'll be fine. I really do. It's a surgery that it has a very high success rate. But I wanted to mention it because Mao is going to be out of town, so I don't want that to just happen on the vlogs and you guys be flabbergasted by that. And I also wanted you to be aware that, that's happening. It is a very major surgery, obviously. But she's going to be leaving on Monday. So she's finishing up a painting now On Monday, she's going to leave, and she's going to be out of town from Monday until Friday. And her goal is to be there both before and after the surgery. So, yeah, he's going to be having the surgery, I believe, on Tuesday. I think on Tuesday he has the surgery, or Wednesday, or maybe on Tuesday he has the pre-thing where they just talk about everything, and then Wednesday he has the surgery, and then she'll be there a few days to help Rhonda and take care of the dogs and things like that, and also make sure he's okay, and then come back home. So again, not trying to bring the mood down or anything, just wanted you guys to be aware that all of that is happening. The whole story behind that is that since he was a kid, he has had some sort of like heart murmur, and they told him, they said, this is something that's okay now, but at some point in the future, it's going to be an issue. We don't know when, some point down the line. And this was when he was real little, like 5 or 6. Well, now he's much older. He's, I don't know how old Mark is, 60, and he's turned 60 or is turning 60 or he's 61. I don't know. So he's older now, and he had, I think he and Rhonda were at a restaurant or something, and he had some bad heart stuff happening, and he had an abnormal heartbeat. So they took him to the hospital, and they started poking around and everything, and they found out that he had, I believe they call it AFib, and the only way to truly fix this was to either repair or replace one of the valves in the aorta. And so that's what's happening. That is why he has to have open heart surgery. And again, they ran a bunch of tests. They said, Mark, you are super healthy. You are in amazing shape and amazing health for your age. You're doing really great. And I mean, he's super active. I mean, him and Rhonda go out and play tennis all the time, and they're doing all these things. So that's great. But he does have to have the surgery. So said all that to let you know that Mal will be out of town, and she's been anxious about it. Who can blame her? She's anxious because she's already running low on time in March, and she has to be away from work. But then obviously she's anxious because it's her dad. She loves her dad, and I told her, I said, go be there before and after the surgery. It'll make you feel better to feel like you're contributing and helping them, and it'll also make you feel better to see when he comes out of surgery that he's okay. So that's her plan. Yeah, just wanted to get all that out there. So now you know, and you won't be, sidelined whenever this happens, when the vlogs come out later on. And again, I think he'll be fine. But Mal's gonna be out of town for a few days next week because of that. It also means that I will have to fend for myself, which I could probably do. Honestly, what will probably happen is I will probably work a lot, because I tend to do that when Mal's not around. Mal sometimes is the voice of reason in the house. Steven, you should stop. Steven, you should eat. And without her, I'm sure I will eat and sleep, but I will probably work harder than I normally work. So it's probably good then. She goes and makes sure that she has time with her dad. I will be here, and I'll get a lot of stuff done. All right. So now let's talk about the future. That's everything that's happening in March. In April, as a reminder, maybe you're new this month for Patreon. If so, hi. Thanks for choosing to support us. In April, we are going to be gone for like 3 weeks. Early April, we are driving up to Boston. We are going to be at PAX East. And we're going to be there for all of the days. And they actually, I'm going to throw this out there. We have passes. We have passes that we are interested in selling, and we're not going to mark them up at all. We'd sell them at cost. So if you are interested in a PAX East pass, contact me. Like, leave a comment or something, because we got these the way that's set up is so stupid. You can apply for media, but you don't get to apply for media until like right before the event starts. But the passes go on sale way up here, and they sell out. So we had to buy passes. And we bought the passes, and then the media registration happened, and we got the media badges. Now we have these passes. So if you were someone that really wanted to go to PAX East, and you live in or around the area, but you couldn't get tickets, I think I think it's Friday and Saturday it sold out like immediately. Anyway, we have two of each day. We have two. What's it? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We have two of each. We would sell them at cost to you, and the way we would do it is we would just meet up at PAX on I don't know, Thursday or early Friday or something, so we could get the tickets to you. But yeah, if you're interested in doing that, if you want tickets, then let me know. It would be first come, first serve in the comments. I would like to offer them to patrons before I offer them, on Twitter or whatever. But if you are interested and you want them, let us know, and we'll figure it out. Even if you wanted to break them up, you don't have to buy all four. But if you're interested in some of them, let me know, and we'll talk or something. Anyway, so PAX is happening, and that's going to be going on from I think we leave here on April 3rd because we're going to drive halfway because we're not going to Boston in one day. The next day we'll go to Boston. We're going to be there from whenever that is, Thursday to Monday. So we'll be there for all days. And during that time, we are going to be doing a meetup. I don't have that planned. I don't know what day that's going to be, but it's going to consist of Mal and myself, Josh and Tyler, who are going to be actually staying with us. So they're going to be probably in a lot of the vlogs. Carlos, who you may know better as Insane in the Rain Music. We use his music a lot in vlogs, and especially Mal makes. I believe he will be at the meetup, so you'll be able to meet him as well. I haven't talked to Emil, Tim, and Masay, but they're generally always there. I can't imagine a reason why they wouldn't be. So they'll probably be a part of the meetup. We'll also be at the Runaway Guys panel. I don't know if we'll be helping out or not, but we'll probably at least be there. We will be at the Versus panel. There's going to be a Versus panel for Josh and Tyler. We will be helping out there. I'm going to be, I don't know, some sort of prize distributor or something. So if you want to see me give out prizes to people, show up to that. It'll be great. And then what else is there? We're also going to try, and I don't know if this is going to happen for certain, but I'd really like to try and make it happen. I would really like to try and record the next Metal Slug game with Josh while we're at PAX. Metal Slug 2 or X. We'll probably do X. It's the same game. They just remastered it. So if we can make that happen, that would be great. And I think that's all the things that are happening at PAX. It'll be fun. We're going to try and meet with developers and play some games and do some stuff that we've never done at PAX before. We wanted this to feel at least a little bit more business oriented. We have the laptop now, so we can take the laptop and do stuff with that. Actually record games at the convention, things like that. So I don't know exactly what we're going to be doing, but we're going to try to do stuff like that. What else? So after PAX East ends, we're going to be doing our road trip portion where we're going to drive up to Maine, stay with some family in Maine, kind of zigzagging a little bit back down through the New England states that we've never seen before, maybe spending a day or two in Philadelphia, because I thought that'd be interesting. Maybe a day back in New York, I'm not sure, and then the meat and potatoes of the return trip, which is Washington, D.C. We're going to be spending quite a bit of time in Washington, D.C. to see the museums, because Mouse never had a chance to spend any time in D.C., and now that we're older, I think we'd appreciate the museums more than ever. I've talked about this in some of the past Patreon months, so many of you are probably aware. And then we'll be back near the end of April. At some point in April, Finding Paradise will end, and Kirby Star Allies will begin. Mal and I are going to be doing a two-player Let's Play of Star Allies. We considered doing it 4 players, but personally, I feel like 4 players is going to introduce chaos that I really don't want in the Let's Play. I really want to go for a more chill feeling in that playthrough. So I think we're going to do it 2 players. Could we get 4 players? Yeah, I feel like we could, but I think it would be more fun for what I'm aiming to do with just 2 players. We've been getting so many tweets lately about the fact that Star Allies is there's a demo for Star Allies on the Switch right now, and I actually just pre-ordered the game on Amazon, so we'll have it the day it comes out. So I haven't played the demo. I don't know if I will. I might just not spoil what it's like for myself and just wait till we play it. But I'm really excited to play a Kirby game again, because the last proper Kirby game we played was Superstar, which is a great game, and it sounds like Star Allies is going to be very close in feel to it. But I'm looking forward to playing another one of those games. The other news is that last month I had mentioned that we would be doing a charity event in May, and I didn't have a lot of information to talk about. This time I know things, because there's been a lot happen in the last month. Unfortunately, a lot of it is still secretive. I'm hoping that very soon they will release information about this, because it is happening in about 2 months from now. Early May, there is going to be... I'm going to tell you everything I feel like I'm allowed to tell you. In early May, there's going to be a charity event. It is going to be a live stream event. It is going to be several days long, and it is going to encompass multiple internet personalities. I can tell you that. And that's probably all I can tell you, unfortunately, until they release more information about it. But it's really cool. It's going to be a good time, and Mal and I will be there and be a part of it. And yeah, it's going to be a little crazy, because we're going to PAX. We're doing this long road trip, and we get back. We're only going to be back for about a week, and then we have to go to this other thing. But it's for a good cause, so we're excited to do it. That's in May. In June, I mentioned before, Alex and Haley are planning a visit. No changes there. We're going to be finishing up Cat World. In August, the Southeast Game Exchange is happening. No changes there. Still not entirely sure what panel Mal's going to be putting on, but she's going to be doing some sort of art panel. Still figuring all that out. And then we have a friend's wedding coming up in October. I think that's everything. I think that's absolutely everything that's happening. And also, we wanted to mention very quickly that we had an idea for a Let's Play that we think would be fun, and we could start we could start on it at any time. We could work through it at any time, release them at any time, and it would be Mario Party, which Runaway Guys are very famous for doing. But the idea would be that Mal and I would always be there, but we would, with every board, we would change the other two people that were with us. So these would be released as like single episodes. Probably one long episode where we play through an entire board, maybe cut it into two, I don't know. And like Alex and Haley might be on one, but then Chaz and Jeff might be on another. Dan and Lindsay might be on another. And we would go through the entire like Mario Party game, but we would change up who the other two people were with each board. And once we finished Mario Party, we could do it with Mario Party 2 and Mario Party 3. We really wanted to explore the idea of changing the guests on a game. And we actually were originally throwing around the idea for Star Allies doing that, but we concluded it was a little too complicated. But Mario Party makes a lot more sense because it's contained. That board that you're playing, that's what you're playing, and that's it. So that's an idea that we have. I don't know when we would do that. You also have to let us know your thoughts on that, and also who you would like to see. There's some favorites, sure, people that appear at ChefCon, but probably some more obscure people that we could get too that might be fun. So at some point in the future, we might start to explore that idea and try to do something with that. And again, the great thing about that is that we could do that at any time. There could just randomly be an episode of Mario Party come out, a random board, that'd be fun. That's it. This has been a long one. It says right now it's like almost 49 minutes. I might have been a little rambly, but I think that that's okay with these sorts of videos. It's a lot of information to get out there, and hopefully you don't mind listening to me ramble for 49 minutes. As a reminder, we leave in a month, because today is the 3rd, and the 3rd of April is when we leave. And I just wanted to say, wish us luck, because it's gonna get difficult. We don't have a whole lot of time. This secret thing that I can't talk about is going to take a few days. Mao is going to be away for 5 days with her family. So we're running on limited time, and I'm like kind of concerned. There's a lot to do on my end, and I think I'll be able to get it done. But then I hate to say that I'm really concerned for Mal, but like I'm somewhat more concerned for Mal than I am for myself, because doing a painting is hard, and she has to get several done ahead of time. She is finishing up a painting now that comes out a week from now, so she's a week ahead, and that's good. But then she's going to be gone for almost all of next week. So there's all of this work to get done before we leave, and I know that she has a lot of anxiety about that. So when I say wish us luck, that's what I mean. Just wish us luck. We're going to do the best we can. We're going to, be working as hard as we can. Now that I have the Fallout mini doc out, that Boulders is out, I'm going to be focusing really hard on trying to get more vlogs out again. So there will be hopefully a pretty steady stream of that. And then with any luck, continuing to work on them so much that I can, maybe have some coming out while we're away. The next Patreon video will be basically right before we leave. If it's delayed by a day, it'll probably be wherever we decide is the halfway point between here and Boston. So at some point next month, at some point, at the beginning of next month, you'll be getting the next video, and we'll kind of be able to talk about how this month went for us in terms of preparation. There's a lot to do with all the paintings. I have to get very far ahead on Assassin's Creed. We have to record the entirety of Finding Paradise. We have to get started on Kirby Star Allies, which is a game that hasn't even come out yet. And then also have to make some serious progress jumping ahead in Fallout 4, which is always very difficult. So, again, wish us luck, because we're probably going to need it. That's it. I promise. Thank you for letting me use up 52 minutes of your time. As always, thank you guys so much for continuing to support us. Things have been crazy. We have sincerely appreciated knowing that we can rely on you guys. Patreon I say it all the time, but Patreon has been a real godsend, especially with how erratic YouTube's behavior consistently is. So as we get ready to do all of this cool stuff, which will be amazing and incredible and fun, we thank you again. And again, wish us luck, because it's going to get nuts. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, you can comment on this Patreon post. I will get back to you as soon as I can. And I'll see you next month for another Patreon video.